Ladybird, is that your given name?
Yeah.
Why is it in quotes?
I gave it to myself. It's given to me by me.
Ladybird always says that she lives on the wrong side of the tracks, but I always thought that was like a metaphor. But there are actual train tracks.
What she did was very baller. It was very anarchist.
Put the magazine back!
She has a big heart, your mom.
She's warm, but she's also kind of scary.
You can't be scary and warm.
I think you can. Your mom is.
So, you're not interested in any Catholic colleges?
No way. I want schools like Yale, but not Yale because I probably couldn't get in.
You definitely couldn't get in.
Hey everybody, welcome to What the Flick. Christy Alonso. Greta Gerwig is an actress that we've liked in a lot of movies. She now makes a directorial and screenwriting debut with Ladybird.
Ladybird, yeah. This is a really lovely coming-of-age film, and it feels like the kind of movie that Greta Gerwig herself would have starred in about 10 years ago. But Saoirse Ronan plays a version of her, but also a totally original character, this young lady named Christine, who insists that everybody call her Ladybird. She is a senior in high school in just totally mundane suburban Sacramento, California, and it is how she asserts her identity and her independence and figures out who she is, and it is a coming-of-age movie, but it is unlike one that you've seen before. Take a look.
We're afraid that we will never escape our past.
Whatever we give you, it's never enough. It's never enough.
It is enough.
We're afraid of what the future will bring. We're afraid we won't be loved.
You can't do anything unless you're the center of attention.
We won't be liked.
Yeah, well, you know your mom's tits, they're totally fake. She made one bad decision at 19. Two bad decisions.
And we won't succeed.
I want you to be the very best version of yourself that you can be.
What if this is the best version?
Lovely.
God, I love this movie. I mean, it does not rewrite the rule book of how you do a coming of age movie, but it does it so well, and it's so smart about a very specific kind of yearning when you are living in the suburbs and you long to be, she wants to go to college on the East Coast, where the writers and the thinkers are, But at the same time, she really, as Lois Smith, the great Lois Smith, points out in her college essay, she really understands Sacramento. She's really closely observed Sacramento, and so you know that she's going to grow up to be the kind of person who, even if she does go east, and even if she does mix with these sort of East Coast intelligentsia, she's always going to have Sacramento in her heart, and it's always going to be part of what made her who she is. Yeah. And the whole movie is, I think, being about on the cusp of sort of the end of being sort of a horrible, selfish adolescent, and then, crossing into that world of empathy and adulthood and sort of understanding where the people are coming from.
Right, awful adolescent, but also like narcissistic adolescent,
well,
right?
Totally.
Which is what you think the world revolves around you, and then you realize, oh, I have parents and they have problems and they are struggling as well. And yeah, this is a character who is trying out different versions of herself. Right? And maybe they're not necessarily always a fit. Maybe she takes pieces of those versions of herself with her. There's a brief part here where she falls in with like the mean girls in school, and that's not really a good fit for her either. And she abandons her best friend, which also
played by Beanie Feldstein,
who is amazing. She's so lovely and so sweet, and just has like this true presence, like an authenticity about her presence, and she has great comic timing. And
she was in Neighbors too.
Young Beanie. No, she was what?
She's Jonah Hill's sister.
Oh, it all makes sense now.
Yes.
She's hilarious. Actually, I forgot what I was going to say.
Sorry.
I got totally sidetracked by the greatness.
She tries on different personalities.
Oh yeah, so she tries to hang out with the mean girls for a bit, which also feels like a coming-of-age movie trope. Like it's something you would see in a John Hughes movie where like the kind of average popularity girl falls in with the mean girls and abandons her best friend.
And there's some Pretty in Pink, I don't want you to know where I live in here.
Yeah. And
but but in a much smarter way.
Yeah, like it feels like in certain moments, it's a movie you have seen before, and then every time there is just an originality and a freshness to Greta Gerwig's voice as a writer. This script, it doesn't really ever hit a false note.
Yeah, and we're used to getting debut films from actors where the acting is all great, which it certainly is here, but I think that Gerwig really understands a lot about visual storytelling. Like there's a montage at the beginning of the film and at the end of the film that tells you so much in a very short amount of time, and just the way the film is shot, the way she captures the sort of mundanity of Christine's day-to-day existence. I really get the sense that she is not just a performance-based director, that she really does understand visual narrative, visual storytelling. And so I'm so excited to see where she goes as a director, because this is one of the strongest debuts, I think, in recent memory. And we were just talking about 3 Billboards and what an amazing cast that is. I mean,
Tracy Letts,
Laurie Metcalf killing it. Lucas Hedges again. He's in both of these movies. Timothée Chalamet, like all of these people, just so great. And yeah, this is a movie that just it's smart and it's heartfelt and it's genuine and it's humane, and it allows the character to do terrible stuff on the path towards becoming a better person.
And it never ends up where you think it's necessarily going to, right? There are moments of redemption. We were talking about this too with 3 Billboards. Like there are moments of redemption, but maybe they don't come at the time or in the form that you might expect them. And it's kind of lovely and kind of perfect. So please go find it. And Saoirse Ronan, who has done everything. I mean, she was nominated for an Oscar, when she was like 13 years old.
For
she
Atonement,
has such versatility, and this is, I don't know how much longer she can play a teenager, but
she's pulling it off here.
Yeah. I mean, there's this real truth, and it's never like the precocious movie idea of what a teenager is. She always feels complicated and authentic, and she's great in this. She's really lovely in this. So I'm saying 9.8. This is top 10 material here.
Totally, 9.5. This is absolutely going to be in the top 10 conversation.
Yeah, 9.7 from us. It's 100% on the tomato meter, and again, I believe this is kind of trickling out eventually, but please go find it. It's small, but very, very much worth seeking out.